Hey, and welcome. So let's dive right into Vision Quest. Let's create a vision for our life. Perhaps you already have some kind of vision, some kind of goal, something you'd like to achieve. This is about the process of clarifying that goal to make it tangible so that we can then devise the strategy to make it real, to translate the ideal into reality. Okay, let me ask you a few questions, and I want you to take some notes. Open a note on your iPad, iPhone, MacBook, PC, whatever, or handwrite it, and stop the video while you're answering these questions, okay? First of all, I'd like to start out by asking you this. Imagine you were completely and totally happy. What would that look like? What would it feel like? What's the surrounding like? What am I doing that makes me happy? You know, like for me, for example, I love to be on the beach. So I imagine myself walking on this beautiful yellow beach with blue water, blue sky and sunshine, and just feeling completely free and happy, and maybe walking with someone that I really care about, and you know, all worries left behind, all financial problems solved, and just feeling free. Or also feel happy when I'm skiing down the mountain, curving my line into the frozen wave. So I want you to stop the video and write down one situation where you feel you'd be happy, where you feel, yeah, this is it. That's what I want to realize. That's where I want to be. So pause the video now, and then when you're done, hit continue. Okay, good. I'm going to assume that you did that. If you didn't, then again, please stop and do it, because you're not going to succeed without defining your vision clearly. Okay? So, now, once you've done that, I want to ask you, have you written down specifically where that could be? What kind of place? Aruba, Maldives, Grand Cayman, Cayman Islands. For me, one day, let me tell you a little story about this, okay? I'll demonstrate the power of goal setting. I walked through a department store, Karstadt, in Munich. And I walked through the book zone, right? The book area. And I just happened upon this big documentary type photo book with an ocean picture on it. I opened it up and I saw this double-sided image of a camera's view of the ocean, half submerged, and underneath the waterline seeing the blue ocean and the stingrays gently, majestically floating above that beautiful yellow and white underground. And above the waterline there was like a tropical, slightly storm, sort of very dramatic sky. And I remember in that moment realizing, wow, I'm going to go there. So I bought the book, I set it up on my table in my living room, and I stayed there for the entire rest of the year. And I wrote down in my calendar, I had like one of these regular flip over calendars on the wall, and I wrote down December of that year, I was going to go to Grand Cayman, which is where it was, Stingray City, Grand Cayman. And I wrote down what I was going to do there. You know, get my rescue diver certification, and so I started then looking for ways how to do it. And I looked on the internet and I found, first I was working in IT, so I looked for IT companies. And I basically wrote to all the IT companies here and said, hey, I've got a background in IT, I write web pages. This was 95. So, beginning of webs and stuff, but I already published my first web pages in 94. And so I wrote to like all the few IT companies on the island in Grand Cayman and said, I'm looking for work and a place to stay. If you want to help me, great. If not, I'm sorry, I won't bother you again. And I sent it to all the list of the companies that had amassed. And I also wrote to the diving schools because I wanted to do my dive instructor training. I was thinking about maybe becoming a dive instructor. So sure enough, one of the diving schools replied. It was a German guy, Rudi Kodritsky, a former airline pilot, who I ended up doing my rescue dive training with. I didn't go as far as dive train teacher because I didn't want to have to go after tourists when they lose their calm and have to stop them from rupturing their lung and just endangering my own health for the low hourly wage that they get paid. But I went all the way to becoming a rescue diver there and had that experience, which was amazing. And I financed that by teaching web design at Paramount Computers in Georgetown, Grand Cayman. They replied. Kenny Rankin's the owner there. He invited me in, and I ended up teaching web design and doing installations of networks for businesses on the island and so on. But this just shows you that the power of goal setting, the power of actually deciding to do something. That's the first thing. You got to decide. I'm going to do this. And you got to be willing to pay the price, meaning you have to be willing to do what it takes to get there. Okay? And then you just got to take the steps to get there. There's a good Zen proverb that says, remember how you got there. Remember the solution. So in other words, you visualize being there, and then you remember how you got there. So you ask yourself, okay, what were the steps that I had to take to actually get there? And that's what I did. So that's how I've been traveling around the globe for 20 years. I've lived in America for over 10 years. I've been in Australia 5 times, traveled all the way around Australia, up the center, down to Uluru, and back up to Kakadu National Park and so on, 50,000 Ks in camper van. And that's what this is about. So again, I want to inspire you to first of all realize the possibility of actually realizing your dream, your goal, and then going about and doing it, okay? So I want you to write out a scenario of something, some goal, some tangible vision of goal that you want to realize, okay? And as an inspiration, I'm going to give you a little affirmation, okay? I put together this little vision board short video of, for example, what it could look like to have now with today's media a vision board. So have a look at this and then maybe Google your own place where you want to go and get the pictures, put them together as a little video or print them out and put them on your vision board, put a date on it, and then I'll see you in the next video, okay?